years after that to play. And at the time, as a true freshman, I'm just upset. I'm away from home. I'm not going to play. I'm just like, frustrated. Then the cold weather comes around, starts snowing, and I'm like, get me out of here, Mom. I'm coming home. And of course, she's like, no, that's not happening. But it was adversity. And I've been on this roller coaster ride, and, here I am, far away from home, not playing, having to practice, grind it out, and college is a whole different level than high school. You got weight sessions, you've got meetings, film, you got all kinds of stuff you have to do, and then of course go to class. My first year wasn't so great in class. And as much as I don't like to admit this, but my GPA was a 1.5 my first semester. So not only did I have the disappointment of not playing, not performing well in the classroom, was on academic probation. So that meant my next semester, if I didn't get my grades up over a 2.0, I wouldn't be eligible to play. Second semester comes around, I do a lot better. I think I had a 3.5 or 3.7 something GPA. So my GPA is climbing. I'm doing great, doing good in the classroom. Spring football comes around, I'm playing well. And I play really well in spring ball, and one day I get, called into the coach's office, and Coach Mycourt, the head coach at the time, was like, you've played well, you've done everything we've asked of you, and so we'll be able to offer you a full scholarship. So I'm ecstatic, calling my parents like, hey, you won't believe it, like, I'm gonna be on full scholarship. Coach said I'm doing well, so I'm excited. Went from these lows to these highs, and so I'm just happy camper. And I'm thinking I'm going in, and I was like, okay, I had a good showing initially. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be a starter next year or get a lot of playing time. And I played some as a redshirt freshman, but not a lot. I was mainly a backup a lot of that time. So again, it's like full ride scholarship, you got this high, you're happy, and then when it comes to playing, it's like, dang, I'm only getting a little bit of playing time, so frustrated again. Eventually, we'll fast forward, sophomore, junior year, I started getting a lot more playing time, started some games, and started being more of an impact on the team. And so, I was happy, especially though as a senior, fought through some injuries, a lot of sprained ankles and pulled hamstrings. So all in all, had what I would say is a decent collegiate career. Wasn't great, but I had moments that were really good and games that were really good. Had some ups, some downs. But it was challenging. It didn't come easy, but I was fortunate to have the camaraderie of the teammates and lifelong friends that I still know to this day, and it was such a great experience. And winning a conference championship in college, I've been fortunate through the sport of football has allowed me to travel the country, going to different states for away games, lifelong friends, see a different part of the country I otherwise wouldn't have seen when it comes to South Dakota. But it also brought me an education. And that's what I want to high school athletes, parents, coaches that may be watching this. I want you to know that sport can also bring along academics. And with academics, it gives you a backup plan. I was much like high school athletes across the country. Thought I was going to go on to play professionally, make millions of dollars, and I know you probably can't see it great on my shirt right now how I'm laying, but H.S.P, High School Sports Performance, we have a play on that name, and it's Headed Straight Pro. And it's a mindset. And I think it's important that young athletes have that mindset that I want to be the best and I'm good enough to play at the professional level. But the reality is, small percentage of college athletes actually make it to the pros. So the education I was afforded, I am forever grateful that I had that opportunity. Earned a master's degree in my senior year. I was already in my master's program, so that was pretty cool. Got some of that paid for through scholarship. Got out of school. By the time I moved back to Arizona, I was fortunate. I was 23 years old when I earned my master's degree. And I started working at LA Fitness. I went to school for exercise science. And here I am working an entry-level job, making $12 an hour with a master's degree. So now I'm scratching my head like, I went through all this school, I did all of these things, and I am making pennies. I think I made $19,000 my first year out of college. That's nothing. But my dad would always say, be patient. Things will happen for you if you keep working. And that's what I did. I grinded it out. Not only did I work for $12 an hour, but I also did an internship in sports performance at Arizona State University simultaneously. So basically I was working 2 jobs, making $19,000 a year. But I kept grinding. And 19 turned into 25, and 25 turned into 35, and 35 turned into 45, and you fast forward, and here I am today, being able to make a pretty good living doing what I love. But sports was that foundation, and I want to give back to our youth. So this is just a little bit of my story, a little candid piece and insight into who I am and what I had to go through. And I'm going to do everything in my power to reach as many other athletes and help them be the best version of themselves. High school sports performance. I started this because of my journey and my story. And I want to make it get easier on the next person. So high school male and female athletes, this is an opportunity for you to not only get better on the playing field, but off the playing field. And understand the process of transitioning from high school to college. Mentorship, nutrition, education, possible careers. I want to help people one day do what I'm doing so you can help others. Not every high school athlete is going to make it to college, but you could still be around sports. You can still help other people get better. And so I want to open the eyes of high school athletes to potential careers and education paths. I just want to impact people. So this is my story, what I had to go through to get to where I am today. And this is why I started high school sports performance, so I can help others at an affordable price reach there